Yo, what's up everyone? Ronnie Chavez here, and in previous videos I've shown you really awesome parkour moves you can learn, how to learn them safely, but in this video I'm going to be teaching you 5 common mistakes beginners make. Now if you've made these mistakes before, that's perfectly okay, just now you'll know what not to do anymore. And before we jump into the video, I wanted to thank Sleeve Stars for sending me this cool compression knee sleeve, which is great for inflammation, keeping your knees warm, and just general soreness and things like that. So if you ever feel aches in your joints or knees when training, especially in the cold, winter's coming around, so that's something to keep in mind. This is definitely something to check out. I'm actually going to test it out today and be wearing it while filming this video and let you know at the end what I think of it. So these mistakes I'm going to let you know about. By avoiding them will help you avoid injury and to progress safer and faster in your parkour training. So the first mistake we're going to talk about that beginners make is when doing drops or landings, landing on your heels or landing flat-footed. You don't want to do that when doing parkour because it can create more impact for your joints, for your knees, for example, and it can also just bruise your heels, and just overall long term it's going to be bad for you. So ideally you want to land toes first and absorb the impact using your calf and ankle muscles so that all that weight and pressure isn't coming into your heels. And especially if you're doing a parkour roll out of it, you shouldn't be feeling much pressure on your heels at all. The second mistake beginners can make are doing huge drops before they're ready. Obviously they've seen the amazing parkour videos of the professional athletes doing the huge drops and landing them successfully, and just because you think you've watched someone do it, you know how to recreate it. It's not just a matter of copying, but recreating through training and practice, developing the technique so it's precise, and learning how to properly land and roll out of those big drops. And it's something you progress up to. You never start off with the big drops until you've slowly progressed over months of training and build up your strength through working out and training your jumps and landings, and eventually you can start doing big drops. But if you do big drops right out of the gate, getting into parkour, that's when injuries will happen. That's when your body will feel the most impact because you're not landing correctly, and that's how you'll do the most damage to your joints. Mistake number 3, flip hucking. That's right. Beginners often want to learn flips, which is totally understandable because flips are super cool looking, and that's one of the things that draw people into the idea of doing flips and parkour anywhere in the city. But you have to keep in mind flips are dangerous. You're going upside down, and so you don't want to just huck flips and hope you land it or throw it off the highest thing you can find thinking that'll be your best way to learn. Learning flips is once again about progression, but it's also about starting in a safe environment and starting with very basic, simple moves that help you progress into the flips and learn the flip. Don't go out just hucking flips. Make sure you're in a safe environment and that you're learning proper techniques before you attempt your first flips. Moving on to mistake number 4, and that is the head roll or the somersault, which obviously that's a normal and proper move to do in gymnastics, but when you're doing parkour, it's actually dangerous to do the somersault out of big drops or trying to recover, because it means your head's going to potentially be in the way and hit the ground, and you're also going to be rolling directly on your spine. So if you're rolling on concrete, that's not going to feel good on your spine. My first time getting into parkour, first thing I did that I thought would be super cool is doing this big jump onto grass, and I'm like, I'll just do a somersault out of it like the pros do. First thing that happened, I jumped, hit the ground, and just head planted straight into the grass because I didn't know what I was doing, and that was a major beginner mistake to first do a big drop and second do an improper roll by going head first straight into the ground. So don't do what I did, and avoid ever head planting into the ground by learning a proper safety roll and then only slowly progressing into doing bigger and bigger drops. And finally, onto the 5th mistake beginner parkour athletes make is when you're first learning to climb a wall using your knee to help you get up on the wall. Now, in the beginning, it's obviously gonna be fine, it'll be uncomfortable on your knee, but over time, if you get in the habit of using your knee, it's gonna be hard on your knee, bad for your knee, and it just isn't good form or technique for learning how to properly get on the wall. So if you wanna learn how to get up on the wall properly and still working on your strength, you don't wanna put your knee up, you actually wanna stretch your foot out a little bit farther and get your foot up on the wall first, and then kind of work your way up onto the wall. And then over time, as you get stronger and stronger, you'll be able to do it where you can just pop your feet straight up on top of the wall. But before then, make sure you're not using your knees to get up on the wall. So there you have it, everyone. There's 5 mistakes beginners commonly make when learning parkour. Make sure to avoid these mistakes. And there's plenty of other mistakes that can be made, but these are the 5 ones that tend to be common if you haven't learned what the proper way to do these moves are yet. So be sure to check out my other tutorials so you can learn the proper way to do a lot of these moves. And I once again wanted to give a little shout out to Sleeve Stars for sending me this cool knee sleeve. It's been nice to wear. It definitely has kept my knee warm. I can feel a little bit of that resistance on impacts and stuff, so I can see how even just doing parkour, if it's cold out and you're worried about your knees a little bit, it can just help give you a little bit of extra support to make you feel a little bit more comfortable while you're out training and protect your knees. So be sure to find out more information about Sleeve Stars and this knee sleeve specifically by clicking on the link I'll have in the description below. But that's all I got for you guys today. Be sure to subscribe for more videos and tutorials I have coming out. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.